Hello, everyone, to the Glorious Smite League, to our first set of the Middle Division, the Mahakali versus Circadian Rhythm. It is I, Matlock, joined by Sparkfire to bring you this, well, hopefully great set we have before us. Would you like to say anything, Spark?
Yeah, hi. Before we start anything off, I just quickly wanted to go over rosters because I really wanted to scope out the competition here. But on the side of Mahakali, Mulog is actually going to step into mid because Big Man Jesus is not present. And then from the bench, we've got Banshee stepping into ADC. And the same going on the side of Circadian Rhythm. We are missing, I believe, Dung Fungus and have Munchie stepping in there. So actually, a lot of subs getting playtime this first match of the season.
But it is the first set, so like this is an opportunity for both teams to make momentum. Like, you want to get off to a good start, so having to bring in subs is it's a double-bladed sword. It's a double-bladed sword. You want your full team here to get off to a good start, but at the same time, if you had to bring in subs for any of your sets, the first one's the best one to bring it in because it's the least important.
That is very true, especially on the sort of Circadian Rhythm. I think most of the players, at least to me, are unknown. So I'm really just looking forward to see what they can bring to the table, because we know on the side of Mahakali there are a lot of renowned and veteran players, at least from the Glorious Smite League.
Exactly.
So that is what I'm expecting, who I'm expecting to win. But I am very, very interested to see what Circadian Rhythm have got to bring to the table.
Well, because once again, I haven't kept up to date. This draft league, Circadian Rhythm, no one really knows what's on their team, whereas Mahakali is, like you said, they've got some veterans. They have Lena, which is second time champion?
Two-time.
Two-time champion, that's the term. And who was the other one that's won?
Big Man Jesus, who is, to be fair, not here today.
Okay.
Season 1 champion. But yeah, even then, we've got some names on here that are apparently pretty good if we want to believe the preliminary tier lists that have been made by Kitchington and Miranda's. So Mulog is apparently quite high up in the as well.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, not in the ADC today, but in the mid lane.
I think another thing that is quite well, this set has a lot of essence of mystery because it's also the knowledge and experience behind each team. Because with the captain of Lena, 2 times champion, you can trust that she knows her way around picks and bans to how to lead her team off to a good start. With the Circadian Rhythm, it's very much a sense of, well, how much do these guys know? Are they completely new to they're middle division, so they can be trusted to not drop the ball immediately, but we don't know the extent of their knowledge and so the extent of their capabilities. So
Yeah.
it's really the sense of like, we are adventuring into the grand unknown of this Circadian Rhythm, and we are trusting the Mahakali team to lead us into this mystery.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we are waiting for a second lobby. Unfortunately, there was a game crash, so we're going to take a bit longer, but I think we can fill the time here. So, are there any picks or any comps in general that you expect to see? Anything that you think is really outstanding in this meta that has to be picked or banned, for that matter?
Well, okay, let's take it, since we have the time, let's take it role by role. So, at the moment, Herc is a menace and also Tyr. So, I would expect to either see those 2 banned or one of those 2 trying to get through. But those are, in my mind, the top solos at the moment.
For sure. Tyr is a ban for me in ranked, I can't lie. I don't like playing against them.
Yeah. Then we have the jungle. Now, I think Circuit is the top jungle in my mind. I don't know if there's anyone else exactly on her tier, but then I don't pay much attention to the jungle. Do you know who might be on Circuit's tier in terms of the jungle?
I mean, I always think that Thor's global presence is always valuable. He is still going to one-shot your backline if they are caught without actives. So he's, in my mind, always pretty good. Other than that, you are right. I don't have any first pick material in mind.
It's like with Circuit, you're either wanting to first pick her or you're banning her out. Like, if a team lets Circuit through, then I would hope one of the other team grabs the opportunity they can. Then we have mid. And mid, I feel like is in a bit of a weird zone where quite a few gods are good. Like, I don't once again, I'm in the duo lane. I'm a support. I don't pay attention.
Yeah, me too. I'm ADC. I don't pay attention for the first 20 minutes of the game.
From what I've seen, there hasn't been a case of, oh, it's these 2 or 3 gods in mid. I've seen a wide variety. Like I've seen the let's see, the Baba Yaga with being able to stack the prophetic cloak as well has made it quite a nuisance in the mid lane. Like, just adding that extra defense on Baba Yaga, like it makes her really strong. And so, if we see a Baba Yaga, I'm gonna expect to see a prophetic cloak on her. Apart from that, I don't really know what to expect on the mid.
I mean, I think we are just much the same. So we've still got the Merlin in my mind, we've still got the Agni. I have heard at least that Yu Huang should still be very good. But besides that, I mean,
king of beasts.
If we're no, you're right. I don't think there's much else that really stands out.
And we do see the bans here now. We see a Nox, a Vamana, a Serket, an Athena, Sisanu, and Herc. I would agree with all those bans, really. The one I have the most to pick with is probably the Athena, but it's okay. We do see the tier banned out. With its banned out in the second phase, and that wasn't picked up sooner. But I guess the teams have other priorities, of which we can see. We can see the Marty chorus was third.
In this fight!
And that's... wasn't expecting that. I would have expected, like, as we saw here taken by the Circadian movement, was a Hatsuman who's been quite strong in the ADC meta at the moment with the recent buff to his 1. We do see that 4 come out in response to the Circuit ban. Backer support, okay, sure, he's a very all-in character. He's gonna make space, which is what this Hatsuman is gonna need, so it does play well. Do see a Guan Yu and a Geb. The Geb cleanse, it's a staple. It's good. Never gonna argue against it. I feel like that's like your modes. I still think is quite good now. Like I feel like the healer supports, even though they were nerfed, they had a meta following it. And I feel like maybe they're better choices here. But I'm keen to see what they do with Skeb. Guan is Guan. He's good. Like, I don't think he's on the same tier at the moment with Herc and Tyr in terms of their damage output and what they can create. But he is a good healer.
I don't think I actually mind the gap here too much. If you manage to keep, or if your solo laner manages to keep the rest of the enemy away, you can very, very easily save your backline from this Thor. So I don't think I actually mind too much. And Guan is pretty good in my experience at keeping the rest away. So.
Yeah, he is still good. So the rest of the bans was the Janus and the Nazar. Wasn't expecting to see the Janus ban, but then he hasn't been properly tested since his passive pen buff. Nazar, I'm fine with. He's they're also pretty strong assassin. Sun Wukong, for what I assume is the solo lane, have not seen Sun Wukong for a while.
He has come out of the woodwork though recently, hasn't he? With some user items becoming more a priority, I believe.
They are. The build that suits him is becoming more prevalent, but he's survivable, which is good. Like his passive makes him very survivable. But I don't know if he's going to be able to push in as much as Guan Yu can. I feel like in that solo matchup, I put my money on the Guan Yu. We do have a Varma and the Bois to round it out, so I'm assuming a Bois jungle with a Marty mid. So double Hunter, so I'm getting a sense that this Mahakali isn't here to play. They're here to get the structures, they're here to get the objectives, they are shredding it down. But Herbois is going to take a while to get online in the jungle. So I think if the Circadian Rhythm can get a good start within the first 5 minutes, then the mid game will probably be easier for the Circadian Rhythm.
It is time.
I do agree. As soon as his 4 hits level 5 and he manages to get active, this should be on the side of the Circadian Rhythm. But I actually like both drafts quite a lot, I think. Both have a very good amount of CC, good amount of damage. The Baba, as you said, also coming out here. Yeah, very safe. Indeed. A lot of high damage late game.
If the Prophetic Cloak is built, and the question is it going to be built? Because there is a Herbois, so the Habuar is going to be running at you, so I would hope there's a Prophetic Cloak built. It's going to get its defensive value because this Habuar is going to be running at this Baba Yaga. So it's just, I hope it's built, but it's just that question of, is it going to be built third, fourth? Like, how late is it going to be delayed here? I do like the sort of meta balance, so to speak, between the two teams. On the Mahakali side, we have the Guan Yu, the Habuar. Marty isn't, I don't think, with his recent nerfs as strong as he was, but like this is a good opportunity to see where he is now. Whereas the Circadians have the Hachi, the Baba Yaga, and the Four, which are three quite top meta picks at the moment. So I think it balances out with. I don't think there's a draft diff here, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. I'm interested to see how this Marty Chorus is going to perform in mid as well. Maybe giving me a little bit of insight into Molag as an ADC after all. I have not come for nothing now. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. I do think the Thor, I prefer it slightly over the Habuar, at least in the first 10 to 15 minutes. But if Lina can get some good one-shot ultimates on the backline of Circadian Rhythm here, it's really not going to be a big problem for Mahakali to turn this around.
Habuar is going to be thirsty in this 5 minutes. If he can get a kill, Habuar wants that kill. So if it's more on Circadian to not hand themselves over on the silver platter, as long as they can limit what farm this Habuar gets and 4 gets level 5, hits the dunk. As I said, they should get a good 5 minutes in, and so it should do well into the mid game. That being said, who knows? This Habuar could go 4-0 by 6 minutes in. And if that's the case, I'm sorry, Circadians, you're about to go nap. We'll probably have to go to game 2.
For sure. I mean, with us both being dual lane players, then which dual lane do you prefer here?
So we have the dual lanes for Mahakali is Geb and Varma versus the Circadians, Bacchus and Hachi. For the meetup, the early few minutes, I would. I don't know which way to put it. I would say the Bacchus is going to be a better support early. It's going to take a while for this Geb to really do stuff. I'm going to be interested to see whether this Geb goes for the blink, because I'm not going to go there yet because that's late game analysis. But I'm keen to see what the initiations are going to be for both of these teams, and so I'm keen to see what the relic choice is going to be. What's your predictions for this early duo game? Which way do you think it's going to go?
I do think it heavily depends on this Bacchus. Bacchus is a lot harder to play, in my opinion, than Geb. Geb has
definitely
big circles and cones to do CC with. And then I guess you have to time the shield properly, which can be a bit more tricky, but in this case as well, just shield whoever is getting Thor dunked. So I think there's a lot more positioning and playing involved in the Bacchus pick here. So I'd keep my eyes on him to see how it goes. In general, I guess we gotta go with the Hachi Bacchus line. Hachiman just being too strong right now.
Late game, Hachi should be winning this 1v1 fight, and we'll be able to go in game now and see from the top down. And so we're looking at these builds. So ADC builds seem to be going the way of Devourers. Nothing normal there. So we do see not a blink on this Geb. It is going to be a shell, so we are concerned of the early presser that the Hachi Bacchus is going to do, because they can meet in wave. Bacchus goes in for the dive. It could be over for the Varma. Varma is not having his dash up level 1. It could go poorly if they get a good initiation in lane. So I think the Geb is being safe here in his relic choice. And Marticore seems to be going towards the auto build hunter. That's his playstyle now. He's now an ability hunter, which is nice.
I mean, he does work.
But how do you think the Marty's going to fare into the Baba as well?
I mean, he should be doing pretty well, right? He's got this really far-ranged clear, so he's never really going to lose much on farm. He's definitely going to have equal to better clear, as we can see here, to this Baba.
Yeah. So... Especially in that early level, because he leaves the ground, which does damage over time. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of action in the 1v1 in mid, because, as you were saying, they both have far range clear. They should not be. They should not be that close to one another. So I think it's going to be very dependent on the jungles coming to the mid lane for any action to be happening here.
For sure. I mean, while both have really good clear, I do agree. I don't think they have, on their own at least, much kill pressure here. So yeah, I do think that's going to probably be a bit slower.
Actually, in an extension on that, I think that's going to be the case in every lane. I think like if for any action to happen in any of these lanes, there's going to need to be jungle interference, because when it becomes Varma v Hatsi, they both have short range dashes, so a gank is going to be essential for putting any kill pressure on. Mid, as we said, they're not going to get close, so you're going to need jungle involved, and solo, they're both very survivable people.
We say that.
Guan's a little bit hurt here.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit hurt. But he's got that heal will be up. And we do actually have the first one on the Herbar. That is not what the Circadian Rivers wanted, but it will be done with revenge by this force. Sorry, you're the tier 1 here. I'm taking your job. Go ahead.
Knock up by the Bacchus. Is the Marty going to live? No, a second kill for the Thor. Now we get a first blood for Mahakali, but...
It is a first blood for Mahakali, but a double kill in response. Kind of equals out then. Like, the first blood bounty, I feel like, is eliminated by that double kill in response. But it's key to see where those kills landed. We have all the kills are on the junglers.
Yeah.
So, and as we can see, therefore, has got up to is just a hedge ahead in XP. So I don't think it's really going to be massive anywhere. Like, no, it's not the start you wanted for Circadians. You don't want this Herbar getting kills. But then they did a good response.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to pick up on what you said earlier with how you think that we will only really see action through the junglers. And in that respect, I think this double kill for the Thor is actually massive, because I already think it's going to be more impactful as soon as it gets level 5. So these 2 early kills are really good. But then again, Lina going to invade here is probably going to take some of that lead that the Thor had away, even though he is level 5 now.
Indeed. Like, level 5s are being hit first by Circadian Rhythm. That they got the assists. It's going to be good for them. Where do you think the jungler is going to... Where do you think Thor is looking first with his ult? Like, who's going to be his first target?
I would imagine dual lane, right? That's always an easy gank with this Thor ult. Then again, the Marty Chorus as well. Oh, a solo kill?
I was completely... Well, okay, they did manage to get a kill here without the jungler's interference. And it does go the way to the Guan Yu. Prot Shred is probably a big help in that. Sun Wukong does have a good passive. He does gain extra protections when he reaches low health. But that's how our Assault is removing his passive in a heartbeat. So, and as we can see, the Guan Yu did use ult. The stun probably came through. So, I think we can't get a replay on that, but I think it can be fair to say I think maybe Sun Wukong just stayed a bit longer in lane than he had to. Because that's another thing we have to bear in mind solo. Like, Sun Wukong has a 72 transformations, and so is he going to go for the knock up, or got a fight here instead?
Yeah, small little fight in the dual line jungle. Nothing big. Lana doesn't want it. Thor doesn't want it either, apparently. There's nothing really happening.
Well, as I was hoping, the Herbar is not going to be doing a lot of damage at the moment with just the Swift Desolation. So I think that was more of a knock up, get away from me, I'm going to run back. For
sure. I mean, another thing I was going to add to this solo lane fight, Sun Wukong is just kind of weak until he gets the Soul Eater stacked. Meanwhile, we see Guan going back in, the ultimate coming out half HP on Coconut, but that is really going to be all she rolls.
Look at the damage coming from that.
Tower dive, but there is the Thor coming over the wall. The stun is good, saving his solo laner. A 3rd kill on the Thor.
That was a bit greedy there. To be fair, he was the Sun Wukong was low, but there seems to be another fight going on around here.
Lina and Marty with their support are trying to push this a bit. They get the Bacchus half, but nothing else besides another invade for Lina. She's really looking at those backcams.
Yeah, well, see, he's not gonna be able to get the kills early because he's a boss. So he needs to be able to hyper farm. So I can understand this determination to have these invades. And as I was saying with his solo analysis, it's a bit like Sun Wukong has 70 transformations. He has the stun or the knock up. Guan Yu has a knock up immune in his kit. So
Yes.
it's a bit hard for Sun Wukong to do his full combo into the Guan Yu. The same can't be said vice versa. Guan Yu is going to be very easy to just kit dump into the Sun Wukong. And as you said, he needs a Soul Eater online. What item is Sun Wukong building there?
I
What is
would
he doing?
imagine that's a
Oh, that's a
Glad
Glad Shield. That's a Glad. Yeah, so it's going to be a Glad Shield. Yeah, Glad Shield. Probably going to see a Sona Binding, I want to say, afterwards. But we'll see.
Rama in trouble? No,
Wow.
just good beats.
Good beats by the Rama there. If a knockup landed, I don't think it would have been a kill if a knockup landed, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think it was a bad beats at all. What I'm actually interested in here is look at the Guan's build. We're gonna see a Transcendence come in there, I think, which is interesting because the healing doesn't scale with power anymore. So I'm a little bit wondering why. He also doesn't have the greatest scaling in his kit, I believe, but
The heal
okay,
doesn't.
never did, I guess. Yeah.
The heal doesn't transcend. It doesn't go along with power anymore, but he still does damage. As like he's already got a solo kill, and he didn't even have Transcendence done. He's already been doing a lot of damage. I'm scared to see him do any more, especially because the Glad Shield is online yet for Sun Wukong. So hopefully get a demonstration here.
Another ultimate out of the Guan, not gonna hit anything this time. Meanwhile, Endure, we've got some pushing it. Oh, Lina having to ult out here. There comes the house for the Baba, but a shield from the Gap is gonna be good. And the death from above from Marty Chorus is gonna take out the mid laner for Circadian Rhythm, pushing out the Buckles as well. That's a good kill for this mid laner. Taking out the Baba early is definitely nothing.
I like the play from the Baba to ult to get that health shield to try and get away, but that early game damage from death from above, but might be in a bit more trouble here.
Having to ult to get away, he is gonna do so still on a 3rd HP, walking back into the Gap. Marty Chorus around the corner, but a jump off the wall is gonna save this Bacchus' life.
Indeed.
Over the wall, sorry.
Yeah, and so I like the plays coming from both of these teams. Like, I don't think anyone's making any like stupid mistakes or anything. I think what we're seeing here is just, oh, they're doing a good play in this moment. Well done.
Yeah. I mean, both teams definitely trying to get active, which is good to see. They both know they want to get this game going. And yeah, it's showing. I like it. I like it a lot.
The goal diff has not really happened yet. Oh, but we do see a bit of a fight here.
Lina in dual lane. The Hachiman will ult under his tower, knocked up by a Gap, but that is really all there is to it. The Hachiman was just way too safe. But maybe this opens... Does Hachiman open up to another gank within like the next 2 minutes?
Well, the Hatsi didn't use beads though, so he still has a lot to say, but they are in fact going back in.
Oh, a tower dive, level 8, the Gap trying to getting stunned by Hachiman. Hachi now, oh, there comes the crushing. Wave 4 coming in as well, though. Gap going back under tier 1, dying to this 4 and oh, a knockup online as well. She has nothing here to get out. Double knockup will likely not save her, right? No, the 4 coming. Marty Chorus is here as well, having to ult, but he won't find anything. Will he actually be able to get out either? Because he is stuck on this tier 1, getting stunned out. No, beads coming out. Rama knocked up. Both looking mighty low, and the house will clean up the kill onto the Marty. A triple kill for this Baba?
That was just a good fight by the Circadians there. Fair play to Mahakali. They went back in for the gank. I think that was the right call, but 4 managed to make the right move, ulted on in, knew that if he got in there he would be able to help with the cleanup, and they got the gank, they killed it, but then they escaped between the towers instead of running back to lane, and that
very
was
awful position.
That does put them in a very awkward place, especially because there was not a minion wave. I don't think there was a minion wave walking into tank tower either, so he couldn't risk. Like, it was a good gank, but their positioning afterwards was their downfall.
For sure. A very awkward walk of like 3 people back into the tier 1 because they just couldn't walk back into jungle. For sure. But I mean, this actually shows we all didn't really know Circadian Rhythm, but they've really like they've shown us that they are here to play.
Exactly, and already 6-0 on this 4.
Oh yeah, it's all the boy.
That's the start you want on your jungler. 10 minutes in, 4 jungle 6-0. Ooh, I'll be a happy support.
For sure. Meanwhile, though, we do still see Lana is keeping up in farming. She's also level 11, and her solo line is actually going really well. Guan Yu trying to invade this blue on his own. Not sure if he got it, but he sure tried. He did not get it.
Wait. So my analysis might be a bit out of date. Do I
Yeah,
see 2 Griffin wings being built on the ADCs?
it does seem so. I mean, on Hachiman, I can understand it because, right, you want to have those long-range basics be easier to hit. I would still build it later, I think, in my opinion.
Once again, I've not seen the meta builds recently. I was aware
Right.
of the Devos Kins Dom start.
Yeah,
Griffin.
that's what I built, so I'm a little confused too.
Especially because both, it does have. There's a bit of a skirmish going on around pyromancy. I think either team's looking to. I'm keen to see how this Griffin win goes.
Me too.
I like they're both building it, so they both obviously know something we don't.
Yeah, we do see Circadian Rhythm trying to make a push for this Pyromancer. Gab is going to be stunned out, having to shell and shield himself, I believe, as he drops to the Baba house. But meanwhile, the Thor finally dropped by this Harbois, if I saw correctly. But the Sun Wukong still on the backline, starting out as Marty. He's gonna take another kill. That's 2 for 1 for this sort of Circadian Rhythm. And they could maybe just turn around for this Pyromancer straight away.
Yeah, I mean, the positioning of the Mahakali was not going that team fight. Sun Wukong was able to stick to their backline quickly. That multi-course did not get an opportunity to play.
Oh, a triple knockup from Lina is going to stop this attempt of a Pyromancer to jump in from this. Backless is probably going to take his life. No, it isn't, because we have a Hachiman here who's going to take down Banshee with Slipper Slap as well, dropping down. Oh, it's not a Hachiman, it's a Rama. Sorry, that's here. And with
the ADCs had a 1v1, Hatsi won, which is as we expected. That Hatsi is, I would say, above Varma in the current ADC tier list, so that's to be expected. He's got a good level lead now. Keen to see if these ADCs they will rotate, because they're good. I'm pretty sure their teams would like having their ADCs with them.
For sure. Though, I mean, the gold tier is going to come up pretty soon again, so I don't think they will have to rotate out that quickly. But yeah, I do want to see them rotate to maybe another Pyromancer attempt or something.
Yeah.
Just help them out there. As there is another little skirmish, I think, in mid. Nothing big happening. Everyone backing out. Thor has his ult up, though. I do want to see a Thor ult. I haven't seen one, actually, yet.
Well, there was the good one between the the towers on left. But
exactly.
Yeah, we haven't seen one again. But then he's already died once. That gave out a big shutdown bonus. So he's probably aware. Okay, don't get too big for your boots. Let's still be aware. He's under leveled compared to the Liner. He does have to be careful. But talking about level differences. A 3-level lead for the Baba Yaga here. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know where that's come from. I guess Baba has just been more successful in the hyper farming.
I think Moloch has tried to rotate a bit too often, maybe missing a few waves here. He's rotating to this blue buff invades, to this awkward gank in left. And Baba is always she has rotated when it was important, but a good bit later, so I would imagine that she just got a wave more on every of those rotations. And it does add up.
Yeah, indeed, and we do see the prophetic cloak being built on this Baba Yaga. So this is they are building kins now on the ADCs, but the shred that is going to be needed to kill this Baba Yaga, you're going to need it.
For sure. It's going to be very hard to kill this backline.
This Baba Yaga is not dying without a fight. Compared to the Marty has better escape in his ult. He has better invulnerability time frame. But it's gonna be scary, especially because unfortunately, it seems like with Baba's passive, that prophetic cloak might get stacked before the supports finish their respectives.
She is very quick in stacking it, isn't she?
Indeed.
No, I do think this is going to require a lot more coordination from the side of Mahakali, right? As we do see Circadian Rhythm going for this Pyromancer once again. Gab is going in, is going to stun 3, but he's still alone. No one here to help. As Guan Yu is going to charge and getting a stun only on the support. No one's
up
really
in the sky.
here. Lina in the backline getting Thor down to half already, but she's going to turn it around. And Thor drops to this Harbor. Massive damage, but it's not enough. The Baba Yaga, after a great knockup from her support, is going to pick up this now it's a 3v4 still for Circadian Rhythm, and they keep it up. The Sun Wukong fine and one more kill. This Marticore is also in a very perilous situation, and that really just writes the end of this team fight as Circadian Rhythm will turn around for the Pyromancer once again.
That was quite a back and forth. We had Circadian starting up the Pyromancer. May still be stolen if they're not careful, but they are going to scare away the Guan Yu there. But yeah, they were doing the Pyromancer, they then got scared off. Liner chased further, Thor went back in, unfortunately died to this ult. That's you got to be careful when stepping up to the Sabra now, especially like we're in the late game. They have 3 pen items. Their ult is going to start doing a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
But then even after getting that 4 kill, when it's like, oh god, the Circadian's in trouble now. No, they just managed to just gather up as a team and just chase down the people that have overextended. And it's just, okay, 1 kill, move forward another 10 years, another kill, and they just keep on this begrudging us. Well, not even begrudging, this just overwhelming assault and just completely take over the positions once again around this Pyromancer. And so it's once again that feeling of, I feel like the Mahakali need to focus on their positioning.
Yeah.
Like Circadians have had perfect position, I feel like, for all these team fights.
Yeah, Ramel trying to steal away this Gold Fury, but Circadian Rhythm is really, really slow on it, and they're gonna get it in the end. Gab trying to ult it away, but some good CC coming out, and he's down again. We do see the Sun Wukong back in the backline of Mahakali, dropping down onto the Rama, who's gonna die as well. Thor used here as well, coming even too late. The kill was already made. It's 2 more off the back of a Gold Fury. It's really, really not looking good for Mahakali here.
It's the Circadians are just operating as a team here. They came here to do this objective. The Mahakalis, they sent the dual lane to deal with it in response. They couldn't steal it, and they got picked off 1 by 1. Like Circadian is, for a first set of the season, they are putting in the work. They want this momentum. Sure. They want their names known. We're a threat. Be careful of us. Because especially if they do beat the Mahakalis here with the veteran players that the Mahakalis have, that sends another message. Like you cannot underestimate this team.
Well, for sure, it's telling me a lot here. I mean, I'm very happy watching this in a spot as we are here, because I'm getting a lot of info from my games against them. But yeah, it's great to see so many people I really haven't heard of yet, but they're playing really well. They're really showing they deserve to be here. So yeah. I'm just interested to see, how do you think Mahakali can turn this around? Like, are they already out of it, or is there still?
No, but the goal difference at the moment is only about 6k. It's not nice to be that far behind, but like as we saw, Habar can still kill this 4. It's a case of positioning. If the Mahakalis can position themselves well, they can show they are still a threat. They are not that far behind. I think one of the bigger problems is just the mid and do at the moment. The level difference between them is gonna be a problem. So it's more so I would hope that instead of going for a full 5v5 fight, the Mahakalis try and pick off one of these either mid or ADC before the main fight starts.
Yes, and it's not just levels. Look at those items too. We see a whole dominance for his Hachiman already, while Rama's still building on his 5th item there.
And as I was fearing, the Baba Yaga already finished his Prophetic Cloak. And the supports are not anywhere close to finishing theirs yet. Like, this Baba Yaga is going to be tanky. Kins is now finished on the Rama. More pen on Mulug's kit as well. So they can definitely kill her eventually, but not as quickly as they will be killed themselves.
I mean, what I'm asking is, how will the Rama really get to this Baba Yaga? Unless she positions really awkwardly, right? There should be so much meat in between those two.
Well, so, how's it?
Small fight, Gab caught out of position, very low already, some damage coming over the wall. He's still alive with his shield. The Baba House coming out will find this kill after all. A lot of time and also invested, though. We do see Coconut on the Sun Wukong also decently low, but I don't think it matters. Just a quick return to the Pyro or even Big Fire. No, Hachiman isn't left. Surely that's just a Pyro nature.
It looks like Geb is looking to start these fights, but either he is too far or his teammates are not following as closely. I don't know what way the dynamic is, but I think there's a bit of a disconnect between the support and his backline. I feel like they need to talk about this.
Yeah, the positioning in general is just awkward.
As I was hinting at the start of this and what I'll get into now, is this late game initiation. How are these fights starting? We don't have a blink on this Geb. So the initiation is maybe a water spout from Hebra into an ultimate. Maybe Guan Yu charges in. That's it. That's their initiation. Meanwhile, the Circadians, they have a 72 transformations Sun Wukong that may just charge in for stun or charge in and knock out the whole team. They have a 4 dunk that can go from halfway across the map.
Yeah.
They have a back asleep. You can, I guess, also use Hatsio as an initiation, as like just a good, like, okay, let's just do a broad amount of damage at the moment. And that's the thing here. Circadians have that engage. So Mahakalis they are not in a position to act first. They are having to react every time. And so it's Circadians that are controlling this pressure. They are the ones with their foot on the gas. I say that, but while pestering around this fire giant, the Mahakali take a Gold Fury.
Yeah, good sneaky little Gold Fury.
Good sneaky little Fury, but this does let Circadian with Mo. Okay, they're over there. Let's try and shred this down.
I mean, I would have imagined that Mahakali just straight up run over the fire. They must have known, but no, they all stayed around for back cams. And I think that means this fire giant is probably going to be gone before anyone can show up. We do have Slipper Slap here, but what is one Guan Yu going to do? Nothing. He's going to die immediately after not being able to steal this fire giant. And that just really opens this game up wide for Circadian Rhythm.
I agree. I would have expected them to run straight over, but maybe they're thinking of what I was saying earlier, the fact of maybe they're aware they are not winning this 5v5 with the difference in the damage at the moment. Maybe they are okay with giving up the fire giant, and they would rather do the base defense, which I don't mind. They have a Marty Chorus, they do have a Rama, they do have a War. It's going to be difficult for Circadians to lay siege here. But I would have liked a bit more of a fight back. You were not that far yet where it was okay to completely give it up.
I was gonna say, like, sure, what you said, just give it up then. But why send in the Guan Yu then? And even then, we've already seen, I think it was an 8k gold lead before this fire, and it's just gonna expand by so much through these tier 2s, maybe even a siege onto the Phoenix. I'm a bit worried for Mahakali here. Thor's coming in, not finding anyone, Rama snipes, finding some damage, but really, all the gold of the map is taken. I don't know if we want to Phoenixes yet, but sure.
Circadians are now in a bit of a weird position where Gold Fury is down, Pyromancer is down, Tao's down. They have to go into the Phoenix, and it's gonna be a bit tricky for them, especially because 4 Dunk is down now. They're probably gonna need to wait out. They do have other engages, but the 4 Dunk is less telegraphed.
Oh, Gab already again in a poor position. He's stunned out and killed by this Baku's ultimate, and that's gonna open this middle Phoenix right out. 2 bombs used on it, and it's gonna drop in a second. Circadian Rhythm turning back around. They've got what they came for. No need to push it.
Oh, that was once again the front line is stepping forward, the back line is not following suit.
Yeah,
and so I feel like. I'm not going to say it is solely their fault, but the Geb has opened a lot of doors that the Circadians are grabbing the opportunity to step through. And once again, I don't know if that's because he's stepping forward or because the backline is not stepping forward with him. I don't know where the disconnect is in that communication yet, but Mahakali need to perform as a unit because they are not doing good in their respective little like 2v2 fights.
It's because those are mostly not 2v2s, right? You always see a Circadian Rhythm are moving as this 5-man death squad, and if they find a Gab, it doesn't matter if he's tanky or not. It doesn't matter if he has finally his steep stacked. He's just gonna die. We've got a level 20 Hachiman who's full build. He's gonna melt you within 2 seconds. Exactly. So yeah, I think it's interesting because you actually lined out how they could win this. They have to play more defensive, as you said, because there is not much engage, which I completely agree on. But yeah, the Gap just doesn't position for it. The Gap is going in like he needs to make something happen.
It's also down to, I think, mainly a lack of CC on the Mahakali side. They have a stun on Guanzo, a knock up on Herbois, a root on Marty, a knock up and Gevon stun, and nothing, and a cripple on Varma. Whereas the Circadians, they have a lot of CC. If someone is caught out of position, Circadians have the CC to lock that person down.
That is a very good point, actually. Like, and the really good CC that Mahakali have, which is this knockout from the Habois and maybe the root from the Marticoris, they are so much harder to execute than anything really that Circadian Rhythm has. So not only is there like a disconnect in the shot calling maybe, but also the CC is so much harder to actually perform.
Yeah. The CC's drafted does lean towards the Circadians' favour. So I would like a Spirit Road picked up by some of the Mahakali's front line. I think that would... It wouldn't save them, but it would give either the backline... Oh, God, hang on a sec.
Big push onto this right. Phoenix Bomb used, but we do see a Guan, and he is not dying, actually, Thor. Going up in the air, maybe looking for a backline. Donkey, but Circadian Rhythm, no, they're actually backing off. They know they don't have Fire Gen anymore. This quick little push, well, interesting and a good thought, not working out.
I really liked it. They were where Mahakali were going to do the same thing. Go to Fury and let Circadians take the Fire Giant. But even if the Fury is taken, the Mahakali is not going to step up to fight for the Fire Giant later. So the Circadians take the opportunity to say, "Okay, we know you're there. We're just going to go for your base." Because as we can see now, like, okay, Mahakali's got the Fury defending the Phoenix. They're still not going to step up to this Fire Giant, which is the main objective.
Rama is here.
He is here. I doubt it.
No, he's already gone up. Yeah.
Yeah, they were aware of what's going to be happening. Like, the Mahakalis were not going to fight for that. They were going to try and steal it, and their only steal is Disram at the moment.
But unfortunately, this time they didn't even get a Gold Fury in return, as we just see Circadian Rhythm pushing on his right side. Should this be an easy Phoenix for them?
Once again, Marty offers a good base defense. It's not going to be easy to get through. Circadians need to utilize all their engagements, like all their possible initiations, to get this fight started. Because if they're just waiting for a good minion wave, that ain't happening with this Marty Chorus standing about.
Then again, someone has to defend this middle, and Thor dunking in already, but we do see the Guan doing a good job frontlining half HP on this Bacchus. Some Phoenix shots coming through, but the Thor will finally finish off the Guan Yu. House coming down as well, and a big damage coming onto this Gap will fall straight away. The only two left here are this Marty Chorus, and well, I was gonna say the Rama, but that's all she wrote. I do think this should be an easy Titan.
I don't think they have the health right now. This Mighty Chorus is gonna have good burst. All the stun does miss.
Wukong is gonna blink in, a stun from the Thor. Mighty Chorus half, the Titan pulled out, some good frontlining from the Bacchus, and that is gonna be game one. What a dominant performance from Circadian Rhythm here.
That was a brilliant performance by the Circadians. Like, they played that perfectly. They played their draft strength perfectly, and after that performance, I feel like we're in for 2-0.
Might be. I'm looking at the stat line here, and I hate to say it, but this kind of feels like the Lina curse. She will always show up, and her team as well, for like the finals tournament, but throughout regular season, it's always kind of Lina trying to push really, really, really hard, but her team is kind of not following suit.
The main takeaway from that game, I would say, is positioning.
For sure.
Both in the fights and across the map. There were the fights where it was just like, okay, they were treated between the two towers after a gank on tower. Not the best. We're gonna over push and spread out. Circadians stay centralized, and they manage to sweep up. The Mahakalis go and take Fury when Fire Giant is on the table and don't even have anyone there to poster. And it's just a case of like, the Mahakalis were not where they needed to be.
I do agree. I think there was a lot of weird shot calling in fights, and then not sure what they actually wanted to do when they were on the defense.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe a switch up in playstyle. Maybe it's the picks. I'm not sure. I do think the comp was all right.
We will we will see what's to come later. I think we're going to be cutting for a break now.
Yes.
And so, yep, stay tuned, folks. This should be a very interesting game too.
Okay, welcome back everyone to game 2 of this first set of the first week of season 4 of Glorious Might League. Quite a mouthful. I'm Sparkfire. I'm still joined by Madlock with Ginger Archer on the cams as we move into, as I said, this match 2 of Mahakali versus Circadian Rhythm. Now, Matt, what have we seen in the first game and what do we want Mahakali to change?
So when we were comparing the drafts, of the team to begin, of the teams, we were looking at meta balance. Like, how does the power scale between the two teams? And we agreed it was even. What we did not notify at that point in the picks and bans, but did acknowledge later on, is a CC diff and an initiation diff.
For
And
sure.
those two things, coupled with the Mahakali's lack of proficiency with their positioning, just meant for dominant assault by the Circadians here.
Yeah, indeed.
So
No.
I think the Mahakalis are going to be should be very mindful of what CC they are picking and initiation to counterbalance. Like I said early on, I was expecting Geb to get a blink to max out to get some initiation. They didn't in the end. I don't think that was like, oh, that's it, game over. They lost because Geb didn't get a blink. I don't think they lost for a lot of reasons. One of it being a lack of initiation, but I'm not blaming them not buying blink on that. But it's just the fact of you need to be able to acknowledge in the first, well, when you're loading into the lobby, okay, where is our initiation coming from? And in that instance, they needed the Geb initiation to have something.
I do agree, but then what role would you make a switch maybe? Or like what would you make different besides maybe the blink on Gab? Is there like an entire pick that you want to change?
I would not have done the Marty first pick. I would have done something else. But we do see picks and bans now. Bans seem to be the exact same as before. Fair enough, that's what these people scale. We do see a Hatsy first pick. The Circadians like that. It is Circadians on the left, Mahakali's on the right. So Hatsy first pick, fine. For Cernos, I like a lot. He did get a passive nerf, so I'm keen to see his performance now, but it's clear with his Bramble Blast is still be good. Biagni as well, an Artillery Mage is going to offer a lot. Is going to make those poor positioning choices not be as affected. Like, he's going to be able to afford to be more back. Janus has the pen on the passive. Keen to see the damage this Janus is about to roll out. We do see a Rat. Not expecting that. Where do you think we're going to be seeing this Rat, do you think? Support, solo, jungle?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be jungle, right? I mean, it fulfills a very similar role to the store. You've got this kind of similar global pressure. Not necessarily a similar damage output, but I think it fulfills the same role. And still, like, this is something maybe that was a big difference in the draft as well. Just this global pressure. Look on Circadian Rhythm side again. You've got a Janus for global pressure. You've got the Rat. Meanwhile, on the side of Mahakali, there's just nothing that can really get you around.
With how well the Circadians have been playing with their team play, do you think we're going to see a payload push? And by that I mean, do we think they're all going to group up, gather behind this Janus, he's going to ult through, and they're just going to all charge as one through several walls? Like, do you think we're going to see that?
Because I hope so. Really funny. Yeah, I do hope so.
I really like it when a team does that. Like, dropping the payload is amazing. I'm keen.
Yeah.
And if either of these teams were going to be able to do it, from what I've seen so far, Circadians have the best chance. We do see Sobek picked up here. Good solo. Honestly, with the recent Cannoneer's buff making it very cheap, Sobek clear is very good early now in solo. So I'm not confident in placing my bets of where this Sobek is going yet.
For me, it's the same problem now that we had the first game, though. You've got some good CC on the Agni, actually. Cern has some decent CC if he can more so follow it up. It's not really initiation. But on the Sobek again, you've got this very single target, like a skill shot CC, which I'm a little bit worried might not actually come to use as Tier is now picked up in the second rounds of picks. Any interesting bans, maybe? Or nothing? Alright.
We do see Tier picked up. Now you would think, okay, Tier solo, Sobek support. I've been accosted in some casuals by a Tier support.
Burden yourself
like,
no longer.
It'll most likely be Sobek support, Tier solo. But it would be funny if it was the other way around.
To be fair,
I think it would still work.
Into the Guan, I think I actually like the Sobek more, right? Tier kind of doesn't really do much against this knockup immune Guan Yu.
Yeah.
Hunbat's Air is a pick that I like. CC, easy, big circles.
So I just want to quote these bands while we finish up the picks bit. We see a Loki, a Horus, a Baba, and a Bacchus. Mahakalis do not want to deal with the Bacchus again. The Baba Yaga, you don't want this. You don't want the Ghosty to be going defensive again. Horus, I think that's a classic good ban. Loki ban, I'm surprised. I'll be honest.
It's a lineup pick. It's a lineup pick, so
okay. So I think
kind of understand it.
That's more me not knowing these teams.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Then absolutely. Then if it's a respect ban towards lineup, fair enough. And as we see, it is the Guan Yu again and the Hatsi. They're going to be running it down, but the 3v3 in mid is going to be different for the Circadians. Yeah, as you were saying, I do think that Sobek has a better time in the solo lane versus the Guan Yu. And then I think tier support can be quite a menace. But it's just, will the Mahakalis think this? Or will they stick to the traditionalism of let's put the Guardian in support, Warrior in solo? And I wouldn't blame for that. I still think that works out fine. But I would be keen to see this Cannoneers start being used by Guardians in solo.
I'm going to be honest, I think it is going to be the typical,
It is going to be too, which is fair enough. Keen to see how it goes. I do think the Guan Yu is going to have a decent time once again. But yeah, we will see how this goes.
Any interesting starts this time around? Anything on the build side that we want to know?
It all looks fair enough to me. Nothing out of the ordinary.
The only
Janus,
the Janus gem, right?
Well, he's not going towards flat pen, but to be fair, he's going to be getting that passive pen from his ultimate. Probably going towards either the Kronos pendant or the Karen's coin. I doubt it's a Tahuti first item. We will see.
Right. Bit expensive, that is. I do agree.
So it'll probably work out.
Yeah. We do see this Guan. He's doing some real good damage, but Tyr has some healing and will just dash out, so nothing happening here. Duo again. This Hachi is just gonna push out his lane every single game, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the CERN offers a better matchup into it than the Varma. So I think it should be a bit closer here. We do see...
Atlas being pulled in. Can we get some CC from the CERN? CERN dashing in. Atlas low, but some minions in the way. No kills here. Sobek falling low as well. Some good pulls, actually. Atlas getting out by skin of his teeth.
Good dash, but the Hunbats is coming in.
Lina is here. Not spotted, actually. Or is she? Why is she backing off? I would have imagined Lina just jumps in there.
I think they're all aware that the jungles were on their way, so they're probably aware this is a 3v3. They just don't know where the jungle participants are, but they do know now.
So awkward. Everyone just kind of looking at each other. The shield buff finally going in the way of the Circadian rhythm. We've got the names mixed up, is what I've just seen. Almost a solo kill in solo here, actually. The Guan really pushing it this time around. This time around also on the other side of the map, so it's Circadian Rhythm playing it this time. And I do think actually this is a really, really good pick. So much damage, so much healing. Good frontlining potential, if you get your ult off properly.
Indeed, it is.
You getting a little pause here. Actually, what do you reckon with the changes on tier? Is that a pick you favor over the Guan Yu, or is Guan still just so dominant with his healing?
The tier guard stance, the stun on his ultimate is a vengeance to be reckoned with. That is gonna be dangerous. So I think in the early game, the Guan Yu's gonna have a better time in lane. I think once it comes to the rotations from the solo players, it's gonna be do the tier abilities connect?
Yes.
Like,
that is exactly what I was gonna say.
Do these pushes land? Does the what was it, Call of Judgment Tier's ultimate? Something like that.
Maybe. I don't know ability names. I'm gonna be honest.
I used to know this stuff. I need to get back into it. But yeah, Lawbringer.
Prod says.
Lawbringer, Call of Judgment, tomato. So yeah, we do see the pause has ended now.
Atlas pretty low again.
Support's both sticking around. I wouldn't have expected them to.
I mean, his Sobek can heal, right? He's got some good healing there. He can also dash out. But actually, Banshee on this Cern is getting awfully low as well. But I mean, no real push potential here. Not that much. Actually, do you like the Atlas? Because that is always a pick for me where I feel like it's either. It's mostly doing nothing for me. I don't think it has very good CC.
I think Atlas offers the same thing here that the Sobek does, which
Right.
is if they stick onto a backline and they get their important CC off, that backline is going to be in trouble. Whether that's the Sobek pluck or the Atlas grab, I think they both offer the same thing of if you step too close to me and you don't have beads, you're going to be taken out of position.
But I feel like Sobek does it so much better and so much safer as well.
Sobek, I would agree, the pluck is going to be better. The Atlas, the grab offers more control in how you displace them. The Sobek is just, oh, okay, you're going a few units behind me. So, I think with the Circadian's playstyle of traveling as a unit, I think the Atlas serves them better. Whereas since the Mahakali seem to be much more separated in their positioning, I think the Sobek grab, the Sobek pluck aids in there. So I think they both work well for their respective playstyles.
Rathold coming into duo, dunking on this ADC who's already doing really good pull from Atlas. Actually, I'm eating my words here as the first kill of the game is coming on to Banshee. A Dragon Assault just for good measure as well, but it's already done. Yeah, I like I said, I just ate my words. Atlas CC, good, I guess.
Yeah, because it's also that thing of the Sobek. If they pluck someone, you can't say, actually, no, I want them to stay here. They are going no matter what. The Atlas, you pick them up, you can just stand still. Like you are using, like the Atlas pluck is better at giving someone over to your teammates.
But how often do you actually get the pickup? Right? Isn't it usually you get the pull more often than the actual pickup, right? Because you have to be so close to them.
Well, but then as we saw here, it's the Atlas is able to just run at the CERN. The CERN was not able to get away and was just able to run at him. Like it's going to be that thing of can this Atlas walk forward? If the Atlas was to fall behind and does not build his defensives up, then yes, it would be difficult. But if he manages to stay on top and his man stays tanky, he should be okay.
Fear No Evil from Lina is going to force out the Guan Yu mounted assault, but it's not gonna be enough. Just an old for old trade, which I think actually goes in favor of Coconut here. Yeah. This Fear No Evil, I think, is a big part of what Mahakali have to do this game.
It's a good beads burner. Like even if it doesn't get its full usage, it is burning beads.
You're right.
Ooh, the skull comes in big, but here comes the payload.
Invade is successful. Lina low, so is Slippery Slap. Another fight in the jungle. Is there anything gonna happen here? Good stun coming from Mulog, but that's really all there is. Yeah.
The Circadians are looking for players, and the Mahakalis are running away scared. They they are wanting to survive into the mid game because they have seen they do not want the Circadians to get off to a good start.
Look at where this Atlas is going. He's actually going to be almost plugged back into the tower. Ults trending out here. Sobek will keep it in place with the slow from his own. That's a return kill finally onto Mulog, who is now actually ahead. I was going to say the Janus was actually ahead in levels without anything happening here, but now that's turned around with this kill on the support.
Yeah. The Sobek pluck, what it does good is keep you out of displacement. The Atlas was already out of position, and it was made even more so. That's the bonus of the Sobek pluck. And just another thing I want to mention, because it happened a while ago now, so I want to say it soon. In that 3-man gank on the CERN earlier, Vianna's just shot the ult straight away. And I think that should give us a good insight into what the Circadians are planning. If something is happening, Viannis is sending the ult there.
Yeah.
Which I think is good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's there for, right? It's why do you have a global ult if you won't use it globally? For sure.
So I'm keen to see how sparingly it is used and hence how effective it becomes.
And we do see Lina back, this time in duo. She does a Fear No Evil, is going to come out. Beads coming for this Hachi and ult. Or was it just ult? No beads?
No beads and ult. He had to
beads and ult, yes.
Yeah. Which,
that is a win.
It's a win. Like, Liner did have to use ult, but did not have to use blink. So it is ult for ult, but I think it works fine. But as we see here, the
Sobek pulled in, but it's so tanky. And that's what I mean. This is the ult. This is why I think Sobek does a better job than Atlas, because you can do the similar pluck, but when you go in, you can still just go out. You've got a CC immune ultimate. While this Atlas in the previous fight dashed in, which was questionable to be fair, then pulled in actually a good pull here onto Mullock, who's gonna have to use beats to not fall into bottom. Again, look at his positioning from the Atlas. He's positioning so far out. As
he is making space, because what they learned from game 1 was the Mahakalis can be pushed out, they can be separated, and that is what Atlas is going to be able to do good here. He will just be able to make space. He will be able to push these people apart.
He's always ready to catch people that dash, right? He's so far out, like, no one is going to get away.
Exactly. And as you say, like, Sobek does have a CC immune ultimate to try and survive longer, but at the same time, Atlas has a good ult. Like, it has the good power and prot shed. If people stay in that for too long, they are going to feel the gamma radiation.
Yeah.
So we're focusing a lot on the supports here, and while I do agree, it is going they have two very key CCs that is going to determine a lot of these fights. I feel like we should zoom out a bit and look at what else is happening along the map. Jungle in particular, Liner is going about putting these ults in places, burning these beads, which is what I expect of a Hunbat. They are an ult bot. You're just going in, putting your ult down. Maybe you do some damaging abilities. Who knows? You are burning these abilities. You're burning these ultimates, and they're doing it well.
Yeah.
At the other hand, that's still global stuff. He's doing well in that.
Big damage. Beads coming. Beads are being used so often here. We also saw beads come out from the CERN, which is kind of a shame because I was hoping after this ult and beads taken away from the Hachiman earlier that they could maybe get active there, but now with Hachi having no ultimate, no beads, not going to happen. You can see this Hachiman is also pushed up so far. But what I was thinking, right? So, okay, you get beads with the Fear No Evil. But besides the Sobek, I mean, actually, I take that back. You've got the Sobek plug, you've got the Fearless, you can definitely take advantage of the no beads. There is definitely enough CC
You've also got a tier.
Exactly, yeah.
If the tier gets to a backline that does not have beads, bye backline.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. What the Mahakalis need to do here is their setup is making sure the enemy does not have their beads.
Yeah.
If they don't have their beads and they go into a 5v fight, it should be going in the Mahakali's favor because of the amount of CC they have now.
No, I do agree. The Sunbats is just a great pick. I honestly always I like it a lot, very often, because it's just such easy and good CC.
It is
good damage.
It is good if the person playing the Hunbats understands their role of being an ult bot.
Yeah.
And Liner understands that.
It just seems so, doesn't it?
Indeed, it does. It is a bit more of a kill-like game compared to game 1. Only 3 kills so far, but that's not to say there's been a lack of action. There have been fights, but they are more careful now. Like
Both Fury Pull.
It is.
Yeah. Does Mahakali know? Mahakali does know they're coming through the bank. We've got a Sobek coming in, not plucking anyone. He's in a bit of a dangerous spot, but yeah, the ult is just gonna save him from that one. Janus coming through, actually doing a lot of damage to the Sobek, and that is gonna be enough. Red picking it out, and maybe that is a re-engage onto this Gold Fury then?
I don't like Sobek because yes, if he gets out of position, he can ult. Do you really want to have your support? Do you really want to have to use your ult to get out of a position, to get out of a dangerous position? Like, so he becomes CC immune, so he gets some extra protections.
Oh, Mahakali steal it.
Oh, that's a good steal. That's what this artillery mate is going to bring. They have to be careful of that.
I was really right. No one really zoning there.
Yeah, but as I was saying, the Sobek Sword has the ultimate to survive if they're out of position. You shouldn't be out of position in the first place. And the Sobek ultimate is a really good T-F ultimate. That slow and that build-up damage is going to be good. So I need Vidar to not be having to use it to get out of position because he's missed the pluck. Because he's, as we saw there, he was the only one there. He was surrounded by 4 people. And it's like, even if he hit the pluck wasn't going to anyone.
Mm.
So it's more of a they use the ultimate, sure, but as we saw, it is not going to be enough to escape. Giannis has the passive pen, and this might be a bit of
Bees coming out, and ult again. Actually, a good chase down from Banshee this time. Bees and ultimate not enough for the Hachiman. That's a really good kill. Re-engaging on this, I like it a lot.
The coordination right now between Liner and Banshee has been really good right now. And to be fair, Bahatsi is not going to have a good time. They did have beads, they did have ult, but they also just only have a short range stats, which to be fair, CERN has also. But that I don't think that has been over here as much as Lena has, and I think that's being felt right now.
Fearless onto the Janus is gonna portal the tier and return. Tier dropping half. Can we actually get the Pyromancer from Mahakali? I actually like this. Finally going for some objectives, which Mahakali really didn't do that much in the first game, but they do have this lead in the duo lane, which they should have at least, but they're just so scared around this Pyromancer, allowing the Janus to get in, but Mahakali will get it, not stolen away by Circadian Rhythm. And the following fight actually going in favor of the Rhythm boys. We've got a Guan ult coming in, Rattled missing the Agni, which would have surely spelled trouble. But like this, I think this is a fair trade for Mahakali. We take those.
They got Pyromancer, but did they get the bomb?
Not yet, no.
No.
But now they will.
Now they are. Okay, that makes it fair. If they didn't get the bomb afterwards, that was better for Circadians.
Oh yeah. We do see some.
Yeah, Hatsi did stay in lane though, and they did lose a tier 1 in left though, Mahakali for that. Which to be fair, 15 minutes in, I don't think that's so bad to be losing tier 1s now. Like, I think the tier 1s are going to be spread down quickly.
Yeah.
But it's good that the Circadians are also doing map play elsewhere while the objectives are being done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's still a win for Mahakali, because first of all, like you said, the bomb is actually really impactful, and then those towers aren't going anywhere. You always, if you put like keeping this up, the pressure that Mahakali have now, you're always gonna get those towers at some point. So as long as you don't fall behind, because Circadian Rhythm are taking those towers, you really don't mind. You can always take those later, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, they did get the bomb, so I do think Mahakali does come out at least equal there, as long as they utilise this bomb properly. Is that a phalanx I see on the tier? It is! I'm keen to see how that goes. It's an item I want to see more often. I don't know how good it is yet, but it makes those minions a lot tankier. Unfortunately, he is still losing lane. So it's like not been that good. But, especially when it comes to the Phoenix fights later on, if you have, a wave pushing up, having that wave be tankier is going to be a bit more helpful in these Phoenix sieges. Will we get to that point? Who knows? But it is going to be a Mahakali pickup on the Fury.
Yeah, they're all grouped up here. We do see Guan finally coming in with the rat as well. Mahakali have to be quick about this or take a fight. No one's really zoning again. Then, to be fair, there is so much global pressure, Circadian Rhythm. We're gonna see a steal from the Janushold. Everyone pushing in now. Mahakali just on the full retreat. Hachiman getting a kill onto Slipper Slap here. Another blink in, but no, Lina is gonna be out. Blink for blink.
Yeah, that was
just taking too long.
A good steal initiation right there by the Circadians. A good disengage as well by the Mahakalis. That fight could have gone a lot worse. But it does seem like they found.
Agni pulled in, beads, but there is 4 people around him, and they will take a while, but they will take his life. Lina is back with her support. She's gonna TP in. Fear no evil, hitting no one really, while Atlas has been plugged into the tower.
No,
bit of a miscommunication. We do have Banshee here, but this fight is over.
If he only got out alive, only losing 1 for the Fury would be bad. Losing 2 for the Fury, okay, that's not as good as you'd want.
It's not even for the Fury. Circadian Rhythm got that too with the Janushold. This is just all bad for Mahakali.
Yeah. I'm done. Yeah, no, a loss for the Mahakali. But what I meant is losing it and it would have been better if they had all of them survive. Agni staying, Agni not being able to disengage quickly accosted them a bit.
We do see a lead now for everyone here, right, on the side of Circadian Rhythm. So this is looking an awful lot like game one. I did think after that Pyromancer, Mahakali were kind of looking on the up, but maybe I was wrong about those tier ones, man. Maybe that gold differential is actually really important.
The difference is not that bad at the moment. It's still very much within reach for Mahakali. Like, I think as long as they don't do what they did in game one and just abandon the Fire Giant, as long as they don't do that, they're fine. Like, it's like the Agni, if he is allowed to free cast, will do wonders. The Sobek, if the pluck hits and someone gets out of place, will do wonders.
Yes.
They just need to be coordinated.
I do agree. It's not a bad level and gold differential yet. So I do think that the right choice is to just lean back.
We are not seeing a 3-level difference in mid.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
luckily not.
And what's important to note is the mids this time, Ghosty won't be getting Prophetic Cloak. Because towards the late game, the Baba Yaga was not taking damage in the team fights because of that Prophetic Cloak.
Then again, is a Janus really easier to kill?
Because here's the thing, Janus needs to free cast because he only really has one damaging ability, his 2. I'll take a pause there because it is going to be a fight now.
Beats from the Janus after tier ulted in. That is most of the Rhythm boys pushed out. Atlas still looking for something, but he's 1 against 4 now. No stun coming through though, some healing from Guan Yu. And that's just all there is again. The Pyromancer did go down. Did the Circadian Rhythm get it? Yeah.
So, a good pickup by Circadians there, and they run out. What was I saying? Back to what I was saying about the Janus. The Unstable Vortex is his main damaging ability. He does also have the ultimate, but once again, that's an ultimate. That does not have a long cooldown. That has a long cooldown time. If the Janus is difficult to lock down because he has the portal, but then once he uses the portal, he does not have a portal. He is away from the fight. He is going to be a bit more difficult for him to re-engage. So, if they put pressure on this Janus, the Janus is going to have trouble. If they do not, the Janus is going to have a free game. But same for the Agni. It is down to, once again, positioning. It is down to where they are putting their pressure. Like sorry, you go.
No, go on.
No, you go. Oh, nah, we're fine. It's like once again, the game is not out of the Mahakali's hands. Yes. It is just down to the positioning. Like they Fire Giant, the first one, should not be taken lightly.
We do have an Oni Fury now as well. That could also change things massively. Now, I did want to quickly talk about mid builds, actually, because I've been looking at this Agni build, and there is just no pen. Like, there is flat pen, sure, but how are you ever going to kill this Atlas or the Guan Yu?
The Soul Weaver role, not technically pen, does act as pen with its bonus damage, so it's not bad. Sure. Like, it's nothing compared. Like, to be fair, I think he technically has more pen at the moment than the. Well, actually, no, because Janus has the passive pen. From item pen perspective, I think Agni has more. But what we learn is, what we can understand is Janus has passive pen. He does not need to focus as much on pen. Agni has.
Interesting stuff here. We've got Mahakali on this Oni Fury, but immediately. Circadian Rhythm immediately on the Fire Giant, and they are going to get it for free, right? We've got it here, but he's too late. It's another, Fire Giant.
Have we loaded up a recording of Game 1? What? Okay. Once again, Mahakali do get killed. They do lose 1. Let's see how this fight turns out.
Just 1-for-1, Red dropping down to Banshee, but in the meantime, we've got Vidar, who's also died. We do see Circadian Rhythm pushing more, but this could actually become dangerous. They are now under a tier 2, but Mahakali is all running away. We do see Mulog also dropping, so that could actually be a mid-Phoenix as well, as we see Circadian Rhythm pushing it more and more. The tier trying his best to stop this, but Banshee already have as well, and with that, Lina is the only one left, and she's just going to give this mid-Phoenix up too. That was so fast.
Yeah, but good calls did not go to end there. That was going to be a bit too risky. That is... Once again, the Mahakalis don't put respect on the Fire Giant. We are 20 minutes into the game. Teams are going to be looking for Fire Giant.
I mean, 20 minutes is still fairly early in the
Do they
season,
even
right?
have?
Maybe they just
I
didn't
can't.
expect
I
that.
can't see properly. Do they even have many wards on the fire giant? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
Like it's there's been a ward diff, and because of that, the Mahakali were like, oh, we can see from our wards. They're all at fury. Time to go to fire giant. Let's do a replay of game one. So it once again, I don't know why the Mahakalis are prioritizing this fury so much and not the fire giant, because they did not have a bad lead, but as we saw in game one, we can use that as a case study. There was not that much of a difference. They gave up fire giant, and that difference was exploited. That grew exponentially. Game over.
I mean, it's
I'm not
already
saying the same
happening
thing
here
is
as well.
I'm not saying the same thing is not going to exactly happen. They do get a Phoenix of it, which is massive. It is mid Phoenix, so it's like it can be easily defended around these mid skirmishes. But hey, they got it off the bat. That's a win. It's like we got to count these W's where we can. Like they managed to take off one person, and to be fair, it's also the map state from after these fire. Like in game one, when they got fire giant, so they didn't get Phoenix, but all the towers were gone, so it was easy to see. Here, they do get Phoenix, but the other lanes both have tier 2 towers still.
I mean, they could still push for at least one tier 2, I would imagine, but they're not.
It's still possible to be pushed in, but like in game one, it was easy to split push into Phoenixes. Here, they still have to group up down these lanes, really. Or at least in like groups of 4, as we see here.
Tier, does he get out? No, he does not get the bag. We've seen everyone come here.
But as we see,
Bees coming out. Bees way too early to stun onto the tier. Is he gonna live? Actually, he's really healthy still. The rest of coming. No, Rat is here, and the Hachiman damage is gonna be enough. But we actually do see some split pushing. That's actually really good on the left side here.
I like Mahakalis are taking lessons from Circadian. Okay, they're all groups of elsewhere. Let's go where they're not. And so they did get tier 2. Hopefully tier 1 as well. They do lose tier, but tier bought time, which he's doing more so a job of a support than a solo at the moment, but I think they'll take their wins where they can.
Yeah.
So it's not as dire a situation as game one. Like I think they're managing to even it out a bit.
I mean, this kill on tier doesn't really matter that much at all because Fire Giant is still not up. Of course, you do struggle to put out wards now, which Circadian Rhythm have done for like the past minute or so.
Mahakalis, I don't see enough wards, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is for sure a problem. But they can definitely step up now. I feel like I hope they will.
Yeah, and I feel like they recognise the fact that they have to set up. They cannot give it away again.
Still missing
I would be like I did not see last season. I was told there were 2 times champions on this. I would hope they do not give it up for the 4th time in a row.
Right, yeah. We do see some Janus coming in, hitting no one, but Circadian Rhythm, they want this fight. They're pushing Guan Yu, actually pushing forward really far under the tier 1, tier 2, sorry. But none of Mahakali are really looking to work there. That's a lot of ults and time invested into Mahakali. Yeah, if Circadian Rhythm want to do anything with this, they have to turn around for this fire really, really quickly now. But Mahakali, they know they will not give this up.
It was a great disengage by the Mahakali. Both ults and relics used equally between the 2 teams, so a fight here will still be even.
Half. Circadian Rhythm do get it. Mahakali will not step up enough, and this time they are really out of position again. Guan Yu is gonna drop half, plucked back in the beats coming too late, but Hachi has already taken 2. Slippery Slap and Vidar at frontline is taken out of this fight, and Circadian Rhythm, they are going strong, they are going for more, and there is another big ult from the Janus. But it's really all about Hachi Quadra. Is he going to get the Penta? No, Lionel's out. But that's going to be game. That's it. That's all there is. Rhythm taking it.
The Hatsi was first picked in game 1, did wonders there. First picked in game 2, did wonders here. Circadian Rhythm knew what they wanted. They wanted this Hatsi, and it has performed.
Oh, no, big Fino even though Lionel. Can she save it? No, stunned by the Rat. Oh, that was almost so massive. It's just not enough.
Nah.
With that, it's the Titan gone.
For a relatively low kill game compared to game 1, but the story arcs were the same. Positioning, not the best by the Mahakalis. They prioritised Fury over Fire Giant, and the small gap there was exploited by the Circadians. So, considering we did not know anything about Circadians coming in, damn,
They've performed.
they are to be feared.
They sure have performed. Now, I mean, to be fair, there have been some role switch ups and
Yeah, this
subbing
was
in
also a
Mahakali.
sub game. This was a sub game. So,
Sure.
like,
But still.
yeah, it's like once again a win or loss here for either like for the Mahakalis. I don't think it matters whether this was a win or loss. It's the first game. They already have a reputation. I feel like a loss here they can afford. The Circadians here having a win is massive for them. It builds up
Yeah.
momentum. I think it's going to be good.
Really
And
showing the rest of the teams that they are, like I said, here to play. They have shown that even though we may not know them, they can certainly, take it to an easy 2-0 for them.
I think a lesson, if for the people watching this set, been around for both games, thank you very much. A lesson to be taken from this is positioning, and it is crucial. So you can do big damage numbers, so you can get those kills. But if you cannot position around these objectives, and you're against someone who can, it's an easy game. You said and done. Textbook stuff here by the Circadians.
For
You can see
sure.
sort of end game stats right here, and to be fair, the damage was quite even across the board. Like, Circadians do have more damage overall, but not by a massive margin.
Yeah.
So I think that helps tell the tale of, okay, this helps tell the tale of, okay, so the damage numbers went up, but that just meant with what damage the Circadians did, they managed to get more from it.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, but surprisingly enough, Mahakali had placed more wards than Circadian Rhythm did.
I think they
But
placed
where?
it around Fury. I think they placed it around Fury.
I mean, that's very possible, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was going to say as well, Game 2 did look a lot better for Mahakali, in my opinion. I like the comp more. They executed it better in the first 10 minutes. Even though it ended quicker, I think that was a step in the right direction. It's just unfortunately not enough. Circadian Rhythm still looking really, really good there. Coconut not even dying. This global pressure from the Rat and the Janus was just so well utilized. Like, you just couldn't get away from them. You couldn't really take many fights around objectives because you also don't really have much secure for it. Janus is probably going to out-secure you. And then really just Hachiman just ran the games. Both of them.
Yeah. But yeah, do you have any final thoughts, Spark, before we close out the cast?
Not much. Congratulations to Circadian Rhythm. I know to look out for them now.
And I think this proves that keep your eyes on the middle division here, people. Should be a lot of good games all around. So please, thank you for watching. Thank you for myself, Matlock, from Sparkfire, and thank you to Ginger for being the observer of this game. Thank you to all the players that played. Everyone did good. Saw was a 2-0, but it's the first game. It was a sub game, and there was improvements on both sides. So I'm happy with how all this looked. So thank you very much, and see you about. Bye.